An author from Michigan has a new book that is all about honoring the memory of victims of the Holocaust. It's called Not a Real Enemy, the true story of a Hungarian Jewish man's fight for freedom. In tonight's 7 Conversation, I talked to Robert Wolf about how this book captures his parents' real-life experiences that he had read about in their memoirs. Those stories that you were reading, had you heard throughout your life? Was it something that your father talked about?
That's a great question. Yes, he, from time to time, my dad and mom, for everything they went through, you would think would have PTSD.
Yeah.
And they really never did. They were Holocaust educators throughout their lives. They educated their friends. They were active in the Jewish community. They're active in the medical community, well respected. And they taught a lot of people about the history, the Holocaust, Hungary, and they were well-rounded people. They knew a lot of the theater, arts. For me, it was not so much the first half of my life. I mean, I remember some of my dad's stories. His first escape is one that stuck with me all my life. It's in your mind's eye, you can picture that escape. And that's really an exciting chapter, too, one of many, actually. But then after later in life, my mom talked more and more about it, and it started to stick. It stuck with me and my friends and family, and people were really fascinated by what she shared with us. And this book is sort of a composite of all that.
And the way it's told, too, it is exciting and fascinating and heartbreaking and funny. It's sort of all those things combined.
It's very multidimensional. I mean, it is a history book. It covers Hungary from World War I to the end of the Hungarian Revolution in 1956, which very few people know about. The Holocaust itself is in the epicenter of all of that. It's also my dad's biography, of course, and it discusses, besides the history, my dad's family's issues too, both their triumphs and tragedies, and what they had to go through during World War II and even before that.
It's remarkable. It really is. And it is so important to get these stories out there, to make sure that they're told and retold.
Absolutely. This book, I couldn't sell enough copies of this book to try to educate people on the dangers of racism, anti-Semitism, prejudice, discrimination, whatever term you would like to use. It's dangerous, it's destructive, it's unnecessary. And I think just a little bit of education will go a long way. And it'll start with the kids. I think I want to see the book. I'd love to see the book on bookshelves, of course, but I do want to see the book in classrooms taught to kids at the appropriate age, not too young, not too old, but at an age where the stories, the book is entertaining, of course, but then you realize with anti-Semitism in the backdrop of the whole book that it's wrong. And what happened to my father, my mother, and their relatives, or some of them, could happen to anybody. It could happen to you, me, and it could start with a neighbor. It could start with your community. It could start with your government. It could start with a foreign government, or any or all of the above. But unfortunately, we're all vulnerable to that kind of thing. And so I want to keep teaching people that this could be me. And when I picture my dad going through everything he did, the stories are so vivid again that you can actually feel yourself in his place.
Yeah, you sure can. Well, it's such an honor to talk to you today. I really appreciate it. Congrats again on this book. And hopefully, like you say, a lot of people read it and learn from it.